This would probably be a good time to show you our conversations with Supreme Court justices. This week, I interviewed Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer.
Bring the noise!
We are here with Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. Thank you very much for your time, Justice Breyer. Is it okay if we record this and play it back for the Gorilla Beach Film Factory?
Boy, I'll certainly expect it to be. I certainly hope so. And I will.
Now, Justice Breyer, your first job was not as a lawyer, right?
No.
In fact, when you were in college, you tried to get a job at the NASA moon base, but it didn't work out. Why not?
You cannot work there.
Was that because it was the moon, or because NASA hadn't built a moon base yet?
There are ways of finding out.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, maybe it was the Martians. I'll bet they probably sabotaged the whole project.
They're the ones.
Anyway, after failing to get a job on the non-existent moon base that was sabotaged by aliens, you did finally get a job. It says here you worked inside the third stall in the men's restroom on the second floor of the Supreme Court.
I had the special job of opening the door in case somebody knocked, you know.
Did that ever happen?
Once they had coffee for Justice Scalia.
Sounds like a very exciting job. What'd you do when there was nobody in the stall? Did you flush the toilet a lot? Did you watch it go swoosh? Did you...
Look into it with care.
I see you have a TV over there in the corner. Do you ever watch Sesame Street?
I see that every day.
Some of those episodes are just classic.
I mean, they're very, very good.
Did you ever see the one where Bert and Ernie are arguing because Ernie accidentally let Bert's pigeon out of its cage and Bert takes him to court?
Yes.
Did you hear that case in the Supreme Court?
No.
I kind of always took Ernie's side in that whole thing. I mean, it was Bert who hadn't closed the cage correctly.
We're on totally opposite sides.
Wow. Okay. So you think it was Ernie's responsibility to not only take care of the pigeon, but also to test the security of the cage gate?
It isn't surprising that people divide on such questions.
I guess not. You know what was another good episode? The one where that guy, that Muppet, that blue guy, he was kind of balding and he had a mustache and he always wore a hat and a suit. He was kind of nondescript. He was just sort of like a Muppet character actor. What's that guy's name? You know, I'm not even sure that guy had a name. Anyway, in this episode, Cookie Monster finds the guy's lunch and eats all of his cookies.
And what happens is they shoot each other.
Yeah, so, wait, did you just say they shoot each other? I don't ever remember that happening in any episode.
They should.
They should. They should have episodes of Sesame Street where the Muppets just gun each other down.
Did I really say that?
You did.
Oh dear.
Why would you say that?
It can happen.
Well, I know it can. Kind of thought in that episode where Big Bird was angry with Grover and Oscar that he was going to whip out his jammy and flat blast both of them.
That's fine with me.
That's fine with... No, that's not fine. You can't have that. We can't have Muppet violence on TV. What if Mr. Snuffleupagus gets severely injured?
Tomorrow is another day.
How can you be so callous? You never shot anyone, have you?
I came in my office, and there was someone looking through my law books. So I said, excuse me, can I help you? And I think it was probably a student of some. She said, well, I had a question. I just thought I'd come in and look at these books. So I thought, shall I be a little annoyed?
So you shot her?
No. Maybe she's a constituent. Do you say?
Something doesn't make sense to me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you actually vote to limit the right to bear arms?
I don't know what that was about.
Have any of the justices ever been shot by Muppets?
I don't think that's happened since I've been here. If you were to find a counterexample, fine. But I don't think it's happened since I've been here.
I think you're sitting on something. It looks like a Starbucks menu.
Now, that's a tremendous, tremendous treasure for the United States of America.
Yes, I'm sure it is. A Starbucks menu that you sat on. I'll alert the National Archives. In the meantime, Justice Breyer, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
You and I were the greatest allies in the world on this case.
We sure were.